Hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. And this time we're gonna be doing one of the Triwizard tournaments thingamajigs.
Axion Fireball!
You know, no need
Yeah,
to have
you want to
scene.
provide some context there, game?
No need to have any context or scene establishing why that was like his strategy, or like what was the motivation, or anything of that sort. You've seen the movie, right?
I mean, I have, but still, like...
Yeah, so in any case, this is a fly through the rings mission with occasional speed boosts, which more often than what will mess you up rather than help you. Although you still want to take them, because if you don't, you are never gonna make the time limit for any of the higher higher ranks. You only need to complete it in order to unlock the rest of the story. And I really don't care to get good at this again, because let's just say the final section can go fuck itself. The rest of this, pretty fine. The final section, it's a clusterfuck. Absolute clusterfuck.
So is the game ever gonna explain why Hagrid sent a dragon to fucking kill us?
Well, I think it's pretty well established that Hagrid is an addict, he's a child murderer.
I guess, yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time he sent a bunch of children into the woods that had dangerous creatures in it at this specific moment. Remember the first year?
Yeah.
Where for detention, our heroes were basically, sent to a forest where there was a creature killing unicorns indiscriminately, and they were left alone.
Yeah.
So in any case, this level does have one thing I like. They very gently suggest what the correct route is, like what the middle of your route is, with this little cloud in the middle of the screen.
Right.
It's actually really nice without being like, super intrusive about it. And this is the worst section of this entire level, because apparently water is acid.
Fun.
And
Actually,
like, in the controls aren't exactly quite as responsive as they should be for them doing something this hard. Also, they love putting stuff like this where it's like nearly unavoidable if you want to make the time limit.
awesome.
And I died there.
Of course.
Thankfully, they have mercy on you, and they just restart you with full health right at the beginning of the stage. Water is still acid, though.
Speaking of acid, where the hell is Malfoy?
He's not in this game, that's for fucking certain.
What bullshit! How am I supposed to make fun of him being super clingy?
Just wait until the PSX version of Chamber, which is gonna be happening next. I promise. I promise it's gonna be like 10 times better. At least 10 times more entertaining.
Good.
And it will actually make sense. Like, the progression of the story and whatnot actually makes sense in that game. I like the one that's actually trying to take itself seriously.
Yeah, surprisingly. You're just capable. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, you don't use any spells, so that's why you don't get any, you know, progression. Good, I guess.
Awesome, I think. But
And now, we're gonna be going to the level that's actually the only difference between this version of the game, as in home console slash PC version, and the PSP version of the game.
there's a PSP version.
Yes, it was made in 2005, and it's pretty much a PSP launch title. It's a pretty impressive one at that. It's pretty much this entire game. It's just missing this. It's just missing one level. Besides that,
Huh.
it's almost one-to-one port of the PS2 version.
Surprising.
Yeah, it's also the only version of this game that runs widescreen. Because, you know, PSP is in widescreen. I really don't understand why they cut out that particular level, because, well, the GameCube version has the exact same limitations when it comes to the amount of memory it has on the disc. So, yeah, I don't really understand. And it's also one of the more interesting levels, visual-wise. Although I can see from technical standpoint why they would drop it. And because this is a new recording session, all of my card setups have been reset. Not that it matters that much, because I can, you know, make it back up. You know, make it back. It's just like for your friendlies, you don't actually need to give them any stamina points, because they will revive anyway. But I tend to be too generous to them anyway.
You know, I just had a thought.
Mm-hmm.
What if, like, you were, like, trying to get a friend into Harry Potter, right?
Yes.
And they were like, okay, well, I want to start with the best one. And let's just say in this hypothetical scenario, your favorite is Goblet of Fire. So you're like, okay, well, you'll kind of be lost a little bit, I guess, but, like, Goblet of Fire is pretty fucking good. And so then they go out and buy this game instead of watching the movie or reading the book.
That would be pretty fucking that would be pretty fucking bad.
Right?
Potter, I realise I never thanked you for tipping me off about the dragons. The prefect's bathroom's not a bad place for a bath. Passwords
Pine Fresh.
Like, see, like that. They're gonna be so confused.
Uh,
Are you sure only prefects can use this bathroom? Whoa! Oops! Sorry, Harry.
The egg went through that hole.
let's just go crazy and shoot the things.
Why can't we just relax in the bath, guys? Come on. The intro to this level even said that's what we were doing. Like, bruh.
It's weird that they even made a level out of this.
There's nothing like beans.
Oh, and this is the other worst level of Ron's obsession with beans.
I'm
like
glad
he
they
thinks-
at least lampshaded it, at the very least.
Guardian Leviosa.
Gotta destroy the wall. Yeah, I'm really confused why they decided to make a levels out of a bath scene, a level out of a bath scene.
Maybe
It
they
just-
originally wanted to do a fan service thing, but then devs told them no.
But then they realized this game is 12 plus.
We might find a way down to it.
Yeah. And so then they
So-
said, screw it, we're already there anyway, might as well just make a dungeon.
Maybe the PSP version was also like used some earlier build or whatever where they were like where they haven't come up with this level yet or something.
I don't know, dude.
You know, it's possible.
Hermione.
Okay. Halfway retractor.
Because, like, there
Hmm.
wasn't even really that much significance to this part, like, in the movie, if my memories are calling right.
No, it was just a fan service for Myrtle.
Yeah.
She got to see naked Harry, and that was the importance of the scene.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all I remember about it.
And you were like, naked Harry.
Nah.
True, Ron is the master race.
In this case, yes.
Axios.
Except if it were Ron, he'd just go to bed in the frickin' hot tub.
You just fall asleep, slip into water, drown.
Just open the hatch.
Let's open the hatch. Let it end. But yeah, in any case, the reason as to why this level was possibly also omitted from the PSP version, it has a lot of like mist effects and water reflections and steam and all that jazz. So I can assume this was difficult for them to program. Also, they use a lot of reflections on the rocks. Which
I also have to wonder how the hell did the egg get all the way down there? Because from what we saw in the cutscene, it only rolled like just behind the wall.
oh, it gets explained later. Actually,
I need help here.
Good.
in a way, they show how it got there. So that's like one of the few things that do actually make sense.
The one thing they decide to cover themselves on.
Mm-hmm.
We move these pipes out of the way.
Once you move them halfway through, you can actually just let go, because by that point it's not gonna go back. And now we have Earthlings around, because you know, we miss them so much.
Of course. I like how Harry's like, I don't gotta do nothing. Whatever.
I also love how almost every time your characters go like, hey Harry, help me out here, and it's Hermione who's coming over. It's
Right.
never consistent.
I like
What
to
are
think
you?
in that case they're being passive aggressive. Like, gee, thanks for the help, Harry.
Exactly. So yeah, this stage actually has some. I wouldn't go as far as to call them puzzles, but like an interesting way of going around around the progression, which is very much different from every single other level. Where you have to go around each path in order and approach it from many directions, above and below, in order to go onwards. Also, when
No,
revisiting this stage, it very much confirms, well, confirms as much as I care to believe my theory that this game was initially intended to just have the system where you go, where you can just continue exploring even after you find a Triwizard Shield. Because it leads to some incredibly stupid stage design. When you remove that, and it's very apparent in this level. Even more
No,
so
I just
than
realized.
in all of the other ones, yes?
You know, finish your thought and then I'll say.
No, I already said everything.
Okay, those enemies are reusing a sound effect from Banjo-Kazooie.
You're absolutely right. The Urklings are basically Kazooie.
Yeah,
Just maybe slightly pitch shifted and maybe sped up. But it is absolutely Kazooie speaking. Or walking.
how did they get... Why and how did they get that sound effect?
I think Rare just has these, just had these sound effects on their website. Oh, and I could absolutely, I can also do that one, like, there is another one over there, but I can't see it from here. But you can do those from other places as well. I just like to throw it as far away as possible. You know?
Right.
Just because I can.
Hurry up!
Oh, and the thank you music.
I like how every time
Is
you run
he-
into a salamander, the game hypes it up as if it's like the most dangerous thing ever.
Oh, and this was the spell cascade. Right there. A few times Harry was using it. Where it just went like in every single direction. It's pretty cute. Also, it very much seems like it is impossible for your friendlies to capture, to like unlock things on their own. So like, say, just because Harry shot his spell literally fucking everywhere does not mean he shot the statue that was right over there, like right to the just to the right, and I just exploded myself.
Cast Axio on the beans.
Clearly.
Yes, cast Axio on the beans. Missed. But yeah, you can also hit the two boilers from over here. It's much easier. But it's also at the very edge of your aim, so you kind of have to give it some speed, and then when your range runs out, it's just going to fly the rest of the way. Nice use of the physics. And we've got yet another one of the shields.
Can you get all the shields?
Not on this run, because they hide some of them on the other part of the level that we can't access on the first go.
Carpe retractor. Can't do this on my own.
Okay.
And we can see that one over there. It's just looming there in the background, mocking us.
Spitting poison at us.
With his eyes like Hello Kitty.
Ooh, a
Yep, a whole bunch of nothing. I'm going to move these down. Right now we don't need them, we also can't use them, but it creates a shortcut for going back for this level. Well, going back to the start once we get the egg, or once we get to it, so to say. May as well do it right now. It saves a bit of time later on.
Okay.
I wish a third person could like get onto the whole carpal retractum thing. If only like so it wouldn't be required, but they would still make it quicker, you know. Yeah, get over it, Ron. I don't know why he's screaming there. It happens a few
I'm not
times
sure why
in
Ron
this
does
level.
much of anything.
He should be sleeping, you know. That's what he's good at.
Yeah. Conserving his energy.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing like beans, you know. And they give you this one as well, which kind of confuses me, but I can only imagine that this one's just in case you somehow did not manage to open that one pipe over there? Question mark? I really don't know.
I can see it.
And they can light the other things, but thankfully they can't relight the. They can't seem to be able to relight the salamander fire. See, they didn't relight it, thankfully. See, it just went down a pipe.
Give us a hand here, Harry.
And this is how it got here. See?
Huh.
It's gone.
And of course now the whole place is collapsing because I don't know, but there's an earthquake now.
Shouldn't this in turn like utterly fuck the plumbing of Hogwarts?
And now just Hogwarts explodes, and we have to get to our spaceship, and we're on a time limit.
Yeah.
It just turns into Metroid.
You know, honestly, Hogwarts blowing up would probably be more of a blessing than anything.
Well, if everybody evacuated, it would definitely save a lot more lives that way.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't be able to rebuild it immediately. Less dead kids every year, you know. And as far as this fight goes, I would just say...
Fireworks.
This one can go south unless you use Magicus Extremis with the amount of respawns and whatnot. Or I think it may just sometimes glitch out because I remember it literally never ending when I was playing this game when I was replaying this game on GameCube recently. Like in order to prepare for this playthrough. But like I lost a couple lives there, and they just kept coming and coming and coming. It was very, very annoying. So in any case, we have unlocked the next stage already, the Herbology Greenhouse, which is my least favorite level of them all. Which is why I'm going to collect most of the shields that I'm going to be needing throughout the rest of the game in the Prefect's bathroom.